before we do, we would also like to make it known that the whole crew is rolling down to Bradenton, Florida on Sunday, and we will be there for the start of Sick Week. Kick things off with the party. See, I'm just having a hell of a time. Man. Kick things off Sunday night with the TBM Breaks pre-party, the racer welcome party that's going to go down at the Freedom Factory, Cletus, the house that Cletus McFarland built. We're excited for that. Go be a part of that whole deal. And then kick the tires and light the fires Monday with the first day of racing for Sick Week. And I'm seeing some comments here, man. People are already testing. I know Tom Bailey's testing, I think yesterday, today. There are many of the other heavy hitters in that brand of drag racing are getting their hot rods ready. It's going to be a fun one, man. I've never done
about this deal.
I've never done one of these drag week deals.
No,
I've never done a drag and drive event.
I've never been to Bradenton. I've never
done the whole thing. I've been to one. Yeah.
This is going to be a good deal, man. I think there's so much hype behind this. They've done a great job promoting it and the build up to it. Luke and all those guys at Sick the Mag and Tom, the passion that they've got behind this deal. I think it's something that we would regret not being a part of. So the whole crew, we're rolling in deep Sunday afternoon. Me and T rolling in. Nate and Wes, I think will already be there, right? So
yeah, man.
You twisted our arm. You twisted our arm, convinced us to join in.
I noticed I didn't have to work very hard to get you guys convinced to go. It took about 30 seconds on the phone with each of you.
2 minutes.
I thought you were ignoring my text when I asked. I was like, "Hey, man, we probably ought to go to this."
No. I mean, there's obviously I got sick and there's been so much stuff going on, but I'm with you, Mike. I just think that they've done a fantastic job with this event. They've done a tremendous job building this thing up and getting people fired up and excited. And I'm genuinely thrilled to be a part of it. Once you've done this song and dance, Mike, I know you know what I mean. Like once you've done drag racing and you've been all over, and we've been blessed to travel the country, in some instances travel the world, and what's it going to take to move the needle with you personally? You know what I mean? What's going to be a new experience, right? When you've seen Drag Stock 3, ADRL Drag Stock 3, and fans pushing the fences over, right, to try to get in the place. When you've seen Jason Scruggs go 380 at 200 miles an hour for the first time in a door slammer. When you've seen, some of these things, Khaled Belushi go 200 at Maple Grove for the first time in a nitrous car in the 8th mile. When you've seen so many of these things happen and you've been a part of these things, it's like, what's going to really get you revved up? What's going to be a new experience? What's going to be a new endeavor? And man, this Sick Week is going to be that. I went on the Hot Rods Power Tour in 2003, and that was touring across, the Midwest at that time, going to car shows. And I remember that being a bit of a grind, like going from one place to the next, having to keep the car clean, right? And tearing stuff up along the way. And and this was back when, in 2003, a 400, 500, 600 horsepower street car was pretty salty, right? That was a fairly significant thing. And I remember having all sorts of trouble with my car, having to put a rear end in it on the side of the road. To take that and then multiply it times going and actually beating your car up and down the drag strip at every venue, I really am genuinely excited for this experience. And I think it's going to be an adventure. That's kind of how we're treating it. The Drag Illustrated team, we're rolling in. We understand that this isn't something that we've done a lot of, relatively new frontier for us at the magazine. We're
taking part of the whole deal. We're going to do the party Sunday. We're going to go to Bradenton and that was at like 9 to 3. And then after 3 o'clock, everybody rolls out. We're going to roll out with them, kind of document. Stay tuned to our personal pages, the DI page. I think we're going to go live and try to document some of the traveling from Bradenton to Orlando and just catch some of that behind the scenes stuff.
I intend to bring back our old school selfie interviews. For me, the most exciting thing about this particular event is being exposed to a new group of people, right? Because drag racing, every one of these events kind of has its own community. I think of the PDRA. It exists almost as a community or a club as much as a racing series, right? Yep. Donald Long's events, same thing. It's more of a community and a club than a series of events or a single event. The NHRA is much the same. I remember Brett Kepner one time telling me, famed drag racing historian, statistician, legendary announcer as well. He told me one time what people miss about the NHRA is that they have made each one of those events more than a race. It's a can't miss social happening, right? It's the ultimate neighborhood barbecue. And I think that each one of these events and series and whatnot basically turn into their own little community, right? Their own little neighborhood. And oftentimes that neighborhood travels, but this is a whole new neighborhood. This is a neighborhood we've never been to or haven't been to much. So I'm genuinely excited about it. As Murder Tundra pointed out, it was, I think in 2016 or 17 that we went to Gateway Motorsports Park, Worldwide Technology Raceway, now outside of St. Louis, right there across the Mississippi River from downtown St. Louis. And we took in one single day of Hot Rod Drag Week, but we have never done the full pull, so to speak. So our plan is to join the party Sunday afternoon, be there for the kickoff and all that, and then follow along, man. I mean, again, it's been a long time since there's been something something new, right? Something that's a first time experience. And hopefully this becomes something of a tradition. That's what I'm sensing in this already, is it's all the adventure and it's all it has as much to do with the hotel and the drive and the gas stations and the checkpoints and the course you take as it does whatever happens on the racetrack.
That's what separates it. And that's the part that we haven't been a part of as much because we go to traditional drag races. So I'm excited about that. And what did Tom tell you on the phone the other day about the adventure, or about, letting this be an adventure or something? He had a great quote.
Yeah, he did. I mean, just that it's, and I'm just paraphrasing our conversation, but like letting it be an adventure, allowing it the room to be that. It's not an event, from what I understand, that's going to really operate within the confines of what we're used to. You know what I mean? Like it's a much different deal. And I'm excited for that adventure aspect of it, because I think this is something that we can all attest to. If you've done any sort of drag racing, done any sort of traveling, going beyond even your local racetrack, I mean, it can happen, but it is an adventure. And I find that extremely interesting.
JT, it's an adventure. We know
that's right. It's all about the journey, not the destination, right?
That's right. We should make that should be a saying. No, I'm
just saying.
Yeah, I know, it was a joke. It was a joke. Yeah. No.